Hey, everybody, welcome back to Gardens, the Untold Story. I'm your host, Ken Somerville, my co host, the invisible gardener, Andy Lopez. And we're covering Andy's book, Don't Panic, It's Organic. Today's chapter is on Brix. What is it and how is it important? And it is very important to understand this because this is something you can use to test your gardening and how healthy your crops are. Whether you're in a garden, whether you're out in a wheat field, you can use this methodology to check to see the complex sugars. And the more complex the sugars, the higher the Brix, the healthier your crop. So, Andy, you wrote this chapter, brother. So take it away. Tell me all about Brix.
So the relationship, what people have to understand is really very easy too, is that the higher the Brix, yes, it relates to sugar, but those in the know, right? Those people like myself and you and other gardeners and other people in the business for a long, long time come to realize that what it also means is trace minerals. The more trace minerals are available. Now, when I started doing this a long, long time ago, I was fortunate that I was following in the footsteps of Rudolf Steiner, biodynamics, learning from the Rodale Institute. So these people are way ahead in terms of organic gardening and what you do. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I learned, and so I learned really, really fast that the Brix, what it really means is that the higher the Brix, the more trace minerals, the more, and it doesn't mean it's the amount of trace minerals. So it's a little bit confusing because it took me a while to learn it. But just say you have a lot of calcium, right? Something's just all calcium. Well, it's going to have a fairly high Brix level because it has so much calcium in it. So it doesn't necessarily mean the combination of different trace minerals. So, but normally the way it works is the higher the Brix level, the more combination of trace minerals you get. And one of the reasons why I know that this is so, because I read a book about another professor was talking about the very same thing about Brix. Because he said, I can pump this plant with calcium and raise the Brix level, or I can pump this plant with phosphorus or iron or magnesium and raise the Brix level. Because it's just a refractometer that measures the amount of refraction. And so if you have a lot of whatever it is, it's going to refract. And but the way it really turns out in nature is because remember, nature does not do just, okay, you need 10 pounds of calcium. Here you go. Right?
Yeah.
No, it's like, here you go. This is the complete blend. Go for it. Right? Right?
Yeah.
So this guy wrote a book of a professor, really cool. I almost remember his name because he also did a couple other. Phil Callahan, C-A-L.
Okay. Yeah.
You ever heard of Phil Callahan?
I have heard of Phil Callahan, yes.
Cool. So he's a really cool scientist person. He wrote Tuning into Nature was my favorite one. Another book called Towers of Power. So I can tell you about all those books or anything because they have to do with frequency, with energy. It's kind of really cool. So anyway, he said, because he wrote down about the Brix is that these are all a blend. It's all a blend. And he gave it a name because he said in the refractometer, when you're reading the refractometer, if you've never looked at a refractometer before, basically there's a two levels of it. The one part of it is white and the bottom part is black. And it's got like a little ladder going out the middle with numbers on them. So you have these numbers that correlate to the Brix, right? And when you're using something, the way it happens is that little line that you're looking between the difference between white and black will change according to the Brix level. So do you have a way to show it on your computer?
I'm just looking at it here, Andy. Give me a moment.
So while I'm talking, I'm also going to turn you on to the video. I have a surprise for you guys. So I'm going to do this now, and so you all can see it. Is it coming up?
Yeah, I see it.
I don't see anything. Is this me?
Well, because you're on a different screen, but what's happening, Andy, is it's going deeper and deeper, so we're not really seeing anything. We're seeing the
Oh,
back end of StreamYard right now.
okay. Let's just stop it. Okay, so I screwed up, didn't I? I'll try one more time. 'Cause I thought, wait, I know what to do. I have it. I think I do have it. Well, that's weird. Okay, yeah. So let me just. It should be. I should have been able to do it already. All right. Well, I don't know what's going on. I think I'm just gonna have to go and get something to drink right now. I'll be right back. Okay. No. Okay. Anyway,
Let me bring up, this is the
I
scale
started
for the
work.
refractometer.
So there you go. You get to see it through there, and so this guy said he came up with this. Anyway, he calls it the fuzzy rule. Fuzzy, Fuzzy, fuzzy rule, right?
Okay.
And he said the way you can determine the combination of trace minerals is that line that you see. So if it's a level 23, you see that line, black and white, right in there. The fuzzier the line is, the more variation of the trace minerals you're going to get. More trace minerals you have. How's that? So he came up with the fuzzy line rule that by looking at it, that if it's really, really sharp, because like like I said, you can pump it with calcium and it'll be higher of that particular mineral, right? So basically,
Okay.
it won't give it. It also it doesn't. One mineral does not push the Brix level up really super high. It has to be a combination of all these different minerals that makes a Brix level up.
Well,
Okay, right?
I think, Andy, if you don't have the combination, you don't have the building blocks that are building the cells that the refractometer is reading. So without, if you're just having one single thing, you can only
Right.
raise it so much. Where if you've got everything put together, then the cell is actually able to build the complete molecule that you're reading.
Well, what happens is, and this I learned this from experience, plus also I would read about it in different publications that people study. So they would do these tests on plants, and they would give the plant, they would test the Brix level of a plant, and they would then feed it a specific combination of things, and then and test it, do it over and over again to see what happens. And they found that if you gave the plant a complete diet, that the Brix level will go up and will tend to stay up there and be up there for a while. But if you give
Yeah.
the plants a diet that doesn't have all the building blocks, so to speak, right? And
Hmm.
so the plant will go up there, but then it wouldn't be able to sustain it into the sugar.
Well, that's like giving it a shot of fertilizer. It goes up, it looks beautiful, but it's still a very sick
Exactly.
plant.
That's exactly it. This urea pumps it up really, really fast. People are so used to boom. But if you were
Yep.
to really look at that plant, the plant would be like, like right? It's not going to last very long. Every bug, every disease in the world is going to come and attack it. But let me go on some more. So I want to, because I could talk like this forever. But basically, I started using a refractometer. Let's see, early 70s. I'll give you a quick history. So when I used to go shopping with my parents, my mom would always get in trouble with the produce section because she would reach and stuff and bite at things. Oh, this is good. And put it back, right? I don't like that. And finally, the grocer and them got to know each other. So he would cut a slice and give it to her to try out. But so
Hmm.
for me, my experience has always been when I go to the store, I would try to figure out if it was sweet or not, and I would try to get the produce guy to cut a slice and let me get a bite of it. So if he was nice enough to do that, I could say, "Oh, it's great." But what I ended up doing is I would get, and it was kind of funny because the first time I did it, I went to the guy who was used to giving me a slice, right? But
Yeah.
I brought with me a refractometer that I had bought, and it was very inexpensive. I think that was the one that I got I have I got a refractometer when I started doing my radio shows. It was in the in the 70s, 71, 72, 73, 74, somewhere in there. I was doing my radio shows,
Okay.
and I was talking. I learned that the see I was using the refractometer to do not just my see my business has always been do people's properties, right? That was everything what I do about it. In my garden too, I I didn't use I never really used the refractometer so much in my garden because I could I felt I don't need it when I ate the vegetables, when I eat stuff. It's absolutely delicious, and you want proof, fine. The refractometer for me has always been as a tool for other people to use who somehow don't have it within them to be a natural gardener, so to speak. Right? You don't need a refractometer if if you're an amazing gardener. You never even, what is that? Okay, what you know what I mean? I never really cared for one because I could tell what's needed because I followed the philosophy of just give them everything. Just give them everything. They'll figure it out, right? You know what I mean? Rather
Yeah.
than you need to spay for this or spay for that. And that's what I do now with my property, with the properties I take care of. The liquids, people say, which of these microbes or which of these bacteria or which of these microorganisms or which type is it you use? I go, all of them. I use all of them. Every single one of them, as many different varieties as to get my little hands on, and more. If I find new ones, I definitely will even go. Oh, are you showing me something? There's something there. Is that you right there?
Yeah, I just I was bringing up if you guys we've had Blue Sky Biochar on, and this is a chart. If you're purchasing a refractometer from their company, this is a chart that they have for vegetables and fruits. What your refractometer should be reading. Like here's another chart. You know, if you have your refractometer in these scales, you know, the higher the scale, the less likelihood you're going to have a problem. But he sells a full kit that has a 5-bladed scissors, the refractometer, a crusher, you know, the whole 9 yards for taking your samples. And then he's giving you the chart to show you what's going on. But that's Blue Sky Biochar, and we talk a lot about him, and we talk a lot about this water filter for filtering your city water. But anyway, that's what I was looking at, Andy.
Yeah, I know. It's great. When I started doing this, I didn't have Michael around to make a kit.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, and so I was going to eventually get around to it because you really have to start somewhere. And what is it? What was it? $100, something like that for the kit, right? 138
Uh,
bucks, something like
it's
that, right?
$139 US.
That was close, 138. So and that's like, that's saves me a lot of trouble because when for example, I have for my refractometers, the first one I got, I also had to get a piston and a motor so I could crush the
Yeah.
leaves. I also had to figure out a way to get the samples. Uh,
Hmm.
and you have to work it all out. But now you can buy a little kit from Michael, which has everything there for you. Really cool scissors that you can use to cut with, a refractometer that's you can go to the that's the other thing. So you can go on to Google, you can go on to Amazon. You're gonna find thousands of refractometers, and you're gonna go, what the heck is going on here? Because people use refractometers for beer making, right? For
Yeah.
wine making, blood testing, refractometer. You can spend $1 million on a refractometer for the stars because that's how astrologers can tell the composition of the planets and
Well, and
stars.
so guys, I want to let's get specific here because this is a refractometer for checking sugar,
Right,
and
right.
you know
Up to
there's a lot of
32.
different refractometers that check different things.
Right.
If you're buying one, make sure you're getting one, you know, for farming, for gardening, and that's why we recommend And we don't make any money from Michael, guys.
I do.
Just to let you know. Well, maybe Andy does, but I don't. The channel doesn't. But we recommend his setup because it is complete. It does have the scissors. It has the press. Where
You don't
Andy
have
was
to
saying he
worry
had to
about
buy a mortar and pestle.
right. You don't have to worry about picking the right type of refractometer
Yeah.
because there's so many different. But usually, if you were looking, the ones for beer would be fine. They will work identically for your purpose that you need. There are some you don't need to go up to the 30s. You don't need to have a refractometer that's broken up into 100 units because that's ridiculous. You'll never be able to get anything up to 100 in terms of plant levels. But this way solves your problem. You have a little kit. I have it here, as a matter of fact. I don't go to bed without it. I take it with me everywhere I go. Here's my little kits here. As a matter of fact, this is the refractometer. Can you see it? Yeah, cool. Here it is. Look. Yeah. Oh, look at this. This is fun. See, here's the refractometer.
Yeah.
See, here's the kit. Hey, Michael, I'm giving you a free ad here. Oh, here's the scissors. This is really cool scissors. For me, when I had scissors, I had a problem. You have to cut it. One is really shredded. This is like a shredder. There you go. Right, it's a little shredder. Yeah. See all the scissors together? It's very, very cool. He didn't invent this, but he figured out somebody was selling it, and you can't find this stuff anywhere. You really can't. So, and I think that are you going to be putting in the description? Could you put in a link to Michael's site?
Yeah, just give me a second, and I'll copy it. I'll send you guys right to the link for this particular kit.
So
there.
I wish I had a refractometer in my youth because it would have been a lot of fun. But when I started doing this, I expanded it to do readings. Brix, everything that grows has a Brix level. Everything that grows has a Brix level. So I started doing Brix reading on roses, for example. I started doing them down the lawn. I would do it on trees. I have a little diary. I did it as this tree, and this is the Brix level of it. And throughout the year, I learned that the Brix level changes according to the time of year and what's going on. So that's a little tricky too. Same thing with fruit trees. They may be throughout the year, their Brix level is going to go in a particular cycle. And it's interesting. So there's a Brix reading. It's different. So on a fruit tree, for example, there are different places you would want to do a Brix reading. The standard, the normal way of doing a Brix reading, you take the fruit,
right,
and you do a Brix reading. I think, but see, I ain't normal like what she says.
No, you're as normal as anybody else out there, Andy.
Who was it that just did a little interview? She says, "I ain't dead."
No idea.
Oh yeah, Silly knows who. She knows everything. Hey, Silly, you know who it is. She sings. She's a country singer. Anyway,
no idea, Andy. But if you're looking for health through the entire season, which means that fruit you get at the end is going to really be at the top of the Brix, that's where taking the sample in the vegetative cycle of your plant and having the Brix at the max there, you're going to just compound that health and vitality into your fruit. And that's where, Andy, you take Brix readings in all the different stages, correct?
Right, exactly right. So otherwise, you really won't know what is the optimal Brix level for that plant. You have to actually go through a series of years just to understand. That's what I did for me. So when I looked at my fruit trees, for example, I've learned really fast that I can do a Brix reading of the leaf and of the flower and of the fruit.
Right.
Okay, so that's what I want to do. You want to take the leaf and do a Brix reading for that, and then also note when. I would say that this is the time of day and this is the year, the date. You figure out.
I'm going to stop you right there for just a second, Andy. Sorry, brother. I keep interrupting, but guys, the one of the keys that Andy just mentioned is having that book and keeping notes, time of day, the
Yeah.
temperature, the
Yeah.
Brix reading.
Yeah.
Those are the things that are going to give you an
Yeah.
overall reading of the health of your property.
And that's what you want to do. You want to customize it for yourself, for what you need, for. I wish I had a farm, because by now I would know the whole cycle of everything growing on my farm. I would know all the Brix level of what a citrus is of the. So you have a citrus, but I'm talking about the citrus tree, and then there's the fruit, right, and the flower. They're all very cool. The same thing with roses. They have a certain Brix level, and then it's broken down. Different varieties of fruit trees, different varieties of trees, all have different Brix levels. So you have to basically go with what's good for. So the one reason why there's no such thing as a book for it, because it differs. A healthy plant will have a different. So take four trees the same. Four fruit trees are identical and everything the same. They're going to have slightly different Brix level depending upon their health and upon the variety that they have, right? So and the same thing with apples. You have all these different varieties of apple and fruit. So everybody's got a different Brix level. So you're going to have to just say, this is my apple when it was the healthiest. This is when it tastes the best. This is the Brix level for it. And then you use that as a model to say, you can never get. It's never too bad to get to Brix level too high, right? You just have to not let it drop. And that's what basically is what you do. You say, well, this Brix level is dropping here. What's going on? And it shouldn't be dropping, right? And that's it.
That's where, Andy, you would use a foliar spray at that time to help get those Brix levels up. But when we started the conversation, you were talking, about the minerals, etc. When's the best time to have that? Like, is it should you be putting those minerals in your compost and then adding it to the base for the plant? Or when's the best time to get those minerals in there? Or is it, good to put it in a foliar spray of some type?
So I've learned that, ideally, if you make the compost, that's where the minerals go into. You do it in a trace mineral fashion, because if you can overdo it, so you want to be able to set up a system that everything you're bringing in it's an assortment of the widest range of trace minerals and the widest range of biology. Let them go at it, right? That's something you have to do all the time. But in terms of taking care of your plants and what's going on with them, in order to be able to control that, and you're saying my Brix level is dropping, you're not going to go, I'm going to put some compost down, because that will take a while for the compost and everything to work. That's where the spraying comes in. You foliar feed them, and you give them what they want, because you don't say, hang on, the food is coming. That is not going to work. And that's why
it's like your kids, man. When they're hungry, baby, they're hungry now.
And that's how I got started in people's properties, because I know that the plants need that food right now. They want to eat right now. So it has to become instant. It has to go into the vine. The best way is foliar. Now, foliar is just only one aspect, because a tree, for example, it goes through the bark as well, and it goes through the root system as well. So foliar just means the leaves, right?
Yeah. Well, if you're not spraying the stalk, you're only spraying the leaves, you're doing half the job.
Say that again.
If you're only spraying the leaves and not spraying on the stalk of the plant, which, the bark, that's part of your stalk of a tree, but even a normal tomato vine has the stalk, you should be spraying the entire thing, because it's all made of cells, and you're trying to make all the cells healthy so that you have an entire healthy plant.
And you soak the soil all the way around it. Not to the point all the way around. I do the whole property, because I started saying, I'm going to foliar spray this fruit tree.
Yes.
And I'm going to soak this little bit of soil right here. And I'm looking around and going, well, maybe I should soak this. Maybe it's like, so ideally you want to treat the whole property with the constant, the foliar application. That's why when I do, because in nature, you know, remember we talked about the biology is not just in the air, but in the leaves, basically
Yeah.
everywhere, right? Well, that's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to do, imitate nature by spraying it, right? Getting it up in the air, getting it going. We spraying on the side of the leaf, on top of the leaf, on the trunk, on the branches, and the soil. And you want to get it down into the soil. That's probably there's a. It's really very. It looks like it's easy and it's not important, but it's actually the most important thing because this soil is a long term something you can be
Yes.
doing for a long term. See, so when you're spraying the leaves and the trunk and uh, those things are short term. They absorb the nutrition and the food and everything immediately, and they start using it immediately. Well, depending on how healthy they are, whether they can use it to what a degree, you know, but they do absorb the vitamins and minerals, so to speak, right? But
Yeah.
but what's when you spray the same very same liquid into the ground, and if you have something down there that's ready to for them to move into, then it's a wham. And if not,
Yeah.
you're basically what you're doing is just you're feeding it, you're activating the soil a little bit. You're trying to get the roots to absorb the nutrients. You're trying to get some of the biology to stick around, find a little place they can just move into temporarily. But it doesn't work in the long run if you don't actually bring the housing right for them
Yeah.
to live in. So that's the sooner people can get together, the composting of the soil, which to me the composting is the healing of the soil. You want to get this medicine and put it in there, and it's supposed to be really, really super alive with all the biology, and that's like a band-aid, right? It's like a when you have a burn, you put something on there you want to heal, right? Did I
Yeah.
miss something?
Oh,
Hi,
just
cousin.
Serena, our
Wait.
wonderful young lady that loves to crack jokes in the chat, guys. So watch out for Serena's jokes. She's got some amazing ones.
So anyway, for me, a refractometer is an excellent tool that you can use. By the way, I have one. I have a book that's maybe there. I'm going to look. You can talk. I'm going to go down and get the book. Okay.
Okay, and guys, the way you can get this book that Andy's talking about, and you can get, don't panic, it's organic, because Andy will send it to you on a PDF, is to go to theinvisiblegardener.com and sign up for Andy's newsletter, and he will send you a whole bunch of different books. And he's got one that he's looking up for the refractometer that one of his friends has written, sent to him, and it has allowed him to send it to you for absolutely free to give you an idea of, when you're using your refractometer, the scales, etc., and what is what and who is who. But guys, remember, it's all about the biological in the soil, in the plant, in the leaves, in the fruit. You need to have that biology, like we've talked about the minerals. And if you have the minerals, you can put on all the minerals on top of the soil that you want. If you don't have the biology that's going to grab those minerals and break them down and make them plant available to be able to build into the cells of the plant, now you're chopping up that leaf, you're looking at the cells of the leaf that's in there, and it's the healthy cells full of those minerals, etc., that's giving you that reading. So you have to have the biology. That's why the soil is so important, and foliars are great. Soil drenching is long term. A foliar spray is really a short term, or to help boost a plant that is already healthy, making it so that it doesn't have to work so hard for it to have and build those healthy cells. So
So you
you
can
know
you can see the book.
can you blow it up, Andy, so it's a larger print?
Blow it up. How do I do that? This is so hard, isn't it? Oh, maybe I could do that. No, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know
check
how
on
to
the
blow it up. How
it
do I
should be a
do it?
plus and minus sign somewhere on the on there. I think right at the
Look,
top on the right
blow it
hand
up.
side,
Oh, I
there should
see.
be a up. There we go. Yeah.
Holy
And then
Francis!
we can see it more. A little, bring in some more, Andy.
You're always picking on me.
Yeah,
How's that?
yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah, using a refractometer to test the quality of fruits and vegetables.
Right. Okay. So let's just do this. Anyway, uh, this you get this. It's a PDF form, which is basically an ebook, and uh, 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 I told him that I would never sell it. So and this is like 20, 30, 40 years ago, 50 years ago. I don't know
Right?
what it is. I don't know what it is. It's really hard to say. It really covers the subject really, really well. And we were old friends, and I've given this book away for forever and ever and ever. And so he studies Rodale too. See, we all Rodale stuff. If you know anything about him, you'll love it. And so the book is very interesting. So I'm just, by the way, what I was trying to talk to you before was called Page, Poor, Average, Good, and Excellent. See, Page.
Okay.
Poor, average, good, and excellent. So when you have a Brix reading in the poor or average, you know you're gonna have pests or diseases. Good, the percentage drops down, and excellent, forget about it. Nothing's gonna touch them. As a matter of fact, you may have to put them in the vegetables in a cage. Look out for your children.
They're going to cover you. Actually, that leads us to this joke that Serena wanted to make sure that you saw, Andy. Why was the garden haunted? Because of all the ghost peppers.
Oh my God! Ghost peppers. Don't talk to me about ghost peppers. I'm even thinking about it. My eyes are already watering. I mean, I had some ghost peppers just yesterday. I mean, they're amazing. I think they're one of the hottest peppers on the planet, right?
I think something like that. Yeah. Now, Serena did have a question that we didn't get to on Monday's show that I think that we could probably answer on this one. What draws gnats to plants, and what nutrients do we need to add to a potting mix or seed starting mix to discourage them, in addition to moisture control and covering the surface?
Okay, so gnats, remember, they're tiny little flies, and what attracts them are basically when food and things start to evaporate, it gives off a gas, and that attracts them. So it depends. You didn't say what the gnats. Did she? Did she mention what's being attracting the gnats? Was it a vegetable?
It's in her potting mix and seed starting mix. She's getting the gnats.
Right. Okay. So they're growing in the soil. So you're getting them into the soil. So one of the things that you have to learn how to do is it. She didn't say it was indoor or outdoors. Probably outdoors, because that means that the little gnats are laying eggs in the soil and then they're hatching. That's why you see so many of them flying around in there. And so there are a couple of things you could do really easy. I assume you drink coffee. I don't see I can't see the comment. I don't know how to switch.
Yeah, Andy, I think if I think it's at the very start. So I think Serena actually is starting her stuff indoors, you know, or in a greenhouse, and that's where gnats are really going to get bad. But so Tony actually has a suggestion, and I really want to talk about. Wouldn't neem cake help with this? And Andy, what's your feeling on neem cake? Because some people love it, some people don't.
I always tend to go with simple solutions rather than getting too complicated. Even though neem cake would be very effective, there are many. If you have an access to it, and if you've done it before, I have no problem with it. Remember, I think it's an herb or a part of a tree. I think it's a neem tree.
Yeah, right? It's an oil base.
Yeah,
from the tree.
So there's so many different things you can buy now. They're totally safe and clean to use, just as long as you don't forget the original reason why this is happening. Because remember, these deal with the effect and not the cost. So you always want to deal with the cost all the time. Always deal with the cost. And so basically, it means that you don't have the biology in the little container that they're growing in.
Yeah.
That's what's really going on, because if usually the biology, always the biology control these things. And so if the biology was very active, they would not be laying their little eggs in there. They're saying, "Oh, this is a cool spot."
And,
Yippee!
Rick wanted to point out that rove beetles eat gnat larvae, and this is one of the wonderful things about creating an ecosystem is you can attract the predators, and the gnats are going to be the prey. So the more you can balance everything out and having a complete ecosystem in your garden, in your indoor grow, in a farmer's field, the better off you are.
Are we still? Am I still sharing?
It's there. I just pulled it down because you want me to bring it back up for you?
Yeah, just let me just go through it real fast, guys. I know this is boring. Are you there? Testing,
Yep,
testing.
it's there.
Okay, right. So this just shows you how you do the reading with the refractometer. You put a drop on there, right? You look through it. There it is right there. What I want to show you, some of these, you don't worry about the original Brix. All this stuff, you can read it when you get the book. This is the same thing you're going to get. I just reading right from the cop, right off the PDF file. But what I want to show you, that's his name, Dr. Kerry Reams, right? That's really cool. And so let me show you the charts. This is the best part of it. Look at these charts. Here's the vegetables on the left. Asparagus. You see poor, average, good, and excellent. That's what you want. You see what I mean? And so you want to be in the excellent range all the time. And that's just for the best. Unfortunately, it even has grasses over here. Look over here. You'll see on the right side it has grasses. So you have here are the grasses, alfalfa grain, sorghum. But I got carried away, and I also do the regular lawn that you grow.
Hey, that's a plant that's going to help provide energy into your soil structure, and so those grasses are actually important.
Yeah, they are. But here you get to see all the different levels to work with, right? And so these charts are very, very useful for you. You don't have to go invent them. Somebody already went through the trouble. This guy was a crazy nut like me, and I met him. We had some interesting discussions. So you have here the apples, for example, 16 and 16 is excellent. For example, that they have 18 there. In my humble opinion, excellent should be like 23. But and also remember, the different varieties of apples will have different excellence.
Yes.
So all I can say is my apples were 23, and that was
okay. Now, how about crab apples, which are very sour?
Yeah, right.
The Brix level is going to be pretty low on something that's sour, isn't it?
That's right. So it's only measurement of the sugar, not the combination of the whole thing, right? See, right?
Yeah.
And on the right side you have onions and parsley. So these are very, very good. The levels are a little low on the excellent range myself, because I would redo this and bring it into the 20th century kind of thing, or according to what I felt it was. Here's the corn and there's roses. See, look at that. They don't even have a poor, average, and good under roses. It's a blank right there. See, look. Right? Yeah. So you only have one. That would basically be excellent for roses. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, so, exactly. And I think everybody should, go for the excellent mark, because then when you consume these, then you're getting all that health and nutrition into your body. So that's where you're a cattle farmer, test your grass in your pasture to make sure it's healthy for your cattle to eat. The healthier the grass is, the healthier your cow is going to be.
So I have this book. I have this chart I made for aliens, and in which I have all the different humans on this side and the different way they taste. That's just
okay. I think that's too far out in the left field. Okay.
So here we have the watermelons, tuna, cherries. There's lots and lots more vegetables, because I would break the herbs down to different herbs. They're very different as well. And then of course all the fruit trees, all the fruit. he classifies them as one thing, peaches, right? You ever had Georgia peaches? You're not gonna they would go up to 20. So the peaches, what they have 20 here. So Georgia peaches to be at 23 and 4 and 5. I mean, it was like I don't remember because I blanked out after having a case of them. Right? Yeah.
Too much sugar, but I pulled that off, Andy, because I think we get the idea that in this book you can get, if you go and join Andy's newsletter, you can get this, and the charts are extensive in this book.
Lots and lots of nice charts. And what I would do is expand on it, get yourself a notebook, start writing down make your own little boxes and do readings for everything you have around you. You'll be surprised how, and eventually you don't need that anymore. I mean, it has to be, it's your nature. I'm an Aquarian. I don't really like doing that. I just like growing. But there are other people that like to do these things. And that helps them become a better gardener, a better growing it, especially if you're doing it for a living, because you can go to other people's property. You go, your roses are a Brix 10, right? Right? Yeah. Right? That makes a difference too.
Yeah, well, the healthier all your plants are, the better off you're going to be. In Serena, I'm sorry, but if you have gnats flying up your nose, the only thing you could do is maybe some bug netting, mosquito netting, something like that.
Let me ask you a question. First of all, if you drink coffee, put some coffee grinds in there. Coffee grinds are good. Blend it all together, right? The caffeine they will not like that. Okay, so if you don't mind garlic, you can always spray a little bit of garlic, or even take crushed garlic and sprinkle it into your soil. That works really, really, really good too. You can do that. Do you use turmeric? Hello, tell me you use turmeric. So neem is very good, except that the only thing I don't like about neem is that it's not. I kind of feel that eventually it will damage the biology, and it's very, very strong. So you want to use something that's kind of mellow. They don't really like hot stuff. Like you can't put cayenne pepper in there too much without causing damage.
Farmer Cheryl says neem can impact the taste of fruits and veggies. Right. So for roses and your perennial plants like that, go for it. But for a lot of fruit crops, neem can be, well, it's the old saying that Leighton has, don't be a moron. People think, okay, a little bit is great, so I'm going to put on a lot, and all of a sudden you're throwing things totally out of balance. So in anything you're using that, like that, less is more. But like a lot of people, this channel really started out from the cannabis industry, and neem was something that was used a lot in the cannabis industry. But like Andy said, if you get your soil in balance, and you have that life in the soil, the gnats aren't going to be there, or they're not going to be very much. You might see one or two, but they're just not going to be there. It's all about that balance.
So remember, there's a short-term and a long-term solution. The long-term solution is always getting the biology back in shape. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to heal overnight. Short-term solutions, there are lots of simple things you can do. Yep. Like I was saying, you can take the coffee grinds, put it in, mix it in. But you can also buy cold brew coffee and make a mixture. You have to figure out how strong it is. And you can mist around with it. That will kill them on contact and prevent them from coming around. The same thing with the garlic. You make a tablespoon of liquid garlic and put it in there and spray. There are lots of things you could spray that are very simple, very clean, that won't harm the biology. As a matter of fact, that's what you spray. Make some compost tea and spray the heck out of the place with compost tea. Bada bing, bada boom. You won't have the gnats, and you bring the biology up.
And what Rick says here is perfectly, in line with really having that diversity. Is plant them flowers, and beneficial bugs will come. Yes, 100%.
I also say play the right music, and they will come. Hey, they'll start dancing. Dun, 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 dun.
And if you play Celine Dion, everything will leave. Sorry.
I would get the kit from Michael, or you're gonna have to go out and figure out your stuff, because you're gonna have to buy all these separate things separately. So I would do
Yeah.
that. It's not. I really don't know of too many other people selling these kits that took the time to make a kit, so that's kind of cool. And once you start doing that, start a diary. Call it. I have one called "Me and My Refractometer." That's right.
Cool.
I did.
Cool.
I did a whole. I'm still doing a radio show on talk show called "Me and My Refractometer," and people come on and they explain how they use a refractometer in their life or in their business,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
their garden. And the more you get, it's like cooking. You get better and better at it, and you use these tools to guide you in the right direction. Because
Yes.
I would do it on a regular basis. Check your plants, check your vegetables. But after a while, I stopped doing it because it's like process I know works. So why keep checking on it? But if you're a beginner at this, or if you really want to learn more about it, that's what you do. That's one of the best tools that you could use, and it's very simple. And there are basically different types of refractometers. One of the things I was going to show you on the video is there's analog and digital. The digital, the cheapest one I found was $300. I don't like it as much because it's digital. You can't do it outside. You won't be able to see the reading at all. You have to bring it in the car. It's easy to break. Needs batteries, the
Yeah.
whole 10 yards. And the analog, $35 for the cheapest one that I bought that I have, and it works very, very nicely. And so, but just remember the readings. Just remember beer making. Beer
Yeah.
making. That's all you need to know, because they have so many different varieties of them, so many different things there. You're going to go, what the heck? And then get a diary, and everything you measure on a regular measure. If you want to grow sprouts, measure your sprouts. The refractometer read on the sprouts that you're going to eat. You'd be surprised. You want to get that's one thing I did. Get the sprouts to go up higher, 30s, up 32, 33, 34. I swear they taste differently. I mean, maybe it's just in my brain, but they do. There's a reason why their Brix goes up, and it goes up according to how good I get at giving them trace minerals. That's what it is. You get to be really good. One of the things I know works really well. I know we talked about rice, and you make a liquid from the rice, but the bacteria in there also encourages the trace minerals to flow. Because remember, calcium is very, very important in the process of getting the trace minerals out.
Yeah, the lactic acid bacteria from the rice water. But Serena has a couple more questions. I'm not sure we can help too much on them, but something is eating holes in my radish leaves and ate all the leaves except vines of my turnips. What nutrients do I need to add to the soil to prevent this? And I don't know if there's really anything specific that you can add other than having all of the different trace minerals and having an abundance of biology. Andy, you have something that you think that would work perfect?
I just said it just 5 seconds ago. I think I said it. What did I say? Huh? What did I say?
The lactic acid bacteria, the rice water.
Come on, a little more, a little more.
The calcium in the rice water.
There you go. Holy cow! I pulled it up. Yeah, man. That is exactly the thing to do, because then you just make sure that when you do the calcium that you have a like C90 with it. Usually you're gonna have you can use any type of high quality salt, Celtic salt. There's pink Himalayan salt. There's Arctic salt. I mean, I like Arctic salt. And the salt I buy from North Korea is really amazing.
A sea salt, guys, and make sure it's not iodized. If it's iodized, they've actually taken all the goodness out of it.
All the good stuff out.
A sea salt is what you're looking for.
And there's what does Rick say? I can't read it.
Hold on. Plants and flowers.
Yeah, he sells.
There's 2 questions. Which rigor rack farmer does Mr. Whitman sell at Blue Sky Biochar? That's I think that one.
You're right. So that one is a good quality. The one I bought. I have 3 refractometers. One's $35. One's about 100 and something, and then the other one's 200. So the $35 works. They all work the same, except that they're better built, different quality. So Michael's here is a really good quality one, a little bit bigger. You can see
It's
that
AIC something. I can't see the rest of it.
it's a little bit bigger than the $35 one, a little bit better built.
Yeah,
quality one. See,
what's the brand name on that one, Andy? Since you've got it in your hand.
Well, I don't know. I can't see anything. Let me see it here. Let me see. Where's the brand name? It won't tell me. Tell me the brand name. Tell me the brand name. Oh, sorry. I'm fine. I'm fine. No, I don't see the brand name anywhere. It should be a brand name. No, I don't see it. I think it maybe Michael gets them without the brand name.
Okay, because in his image, it's AI. It looks like either a C or a D. So yeah, I can't tell.
I don't see a brand name written anywhere on here. But
okay,
it's a good quality one. It doesn't really matter. But if you want to, you can always buy a couple of different type of refractometers. You know, different companies have different ones, and some are easier to use than the other ones. And it's always good to have several of them around to use. You know.
Yeah.
And remember, you can go ahead. Go ahead, boss.
Well, I'm just reading his description on his page, and what's included: a refractometer that automatically adjusts for temperature.
Right,
and that's one of the things that we talked about earlier.
Right. My $35 one does not. The $100 and something does. I forgot. I'm glad you mentioned that, because if the temperature, you have to. There's a little knob that you get a screwdriver to use it to adjust the current temperature that you're using. So summertime might be different than in the wintertime. See what I'm saying? The cheap one, you may have to manually adjust it. And the other ones, they do it by themselves. I don't know. That's why this one's cheap, right? That little thing costs a little bit of money.
Yeah. And Rick was asking if the scissors come with the kit. And yes, they do.
They come with the kit.
The kit again. You get the refractometer. You got a
couple. Yeah, there's the kit. See?
You get the scissors.
That's the crusher right there. Ken,
that is the crusher. Yeah, I'll bring that up.
That is so cool, because I had to come up with so many different ways to crush. He came up with one. I think he had it built. And you put the plant in there, and you literally crush it, and it comes out the other end, and that's what you use to do the reading with. I wish he was around when I did this, because I would go to a store, try to buy anything, like a garlic crusher, or right. That's why I got a motor and a pistol. I would put it in the motor and try to crush it down, grind it down a little bit. Right. So that's so cool. It saves you a lot of trouble. I'm not kidding. And Michael, I want 50% commission here. Okay.
I want 25. Michael can only take 25%.
Michael gets 25. Yeah.
So Serena does have another question, Andy, for you. I have an overabundance of earwigs, and some are coming in the house. What should I plant to draw predators to get them under control?
Well, I would plant citronella. That would get them under control really fast. Or you can do chocolate geraniums, which has a very unusual scent as well. But I don't know where you live at, but I think you can have citronella in containers. Or maybe where's she? What part of California?
No. I think she's in the Midwest. And the thing is that citronella you can bring in for the winter, and grow it in your house. And then put it out in the spring.
Yeah,
and I think citronella helps with mosquitoes as well, right?
Yeah. What I would do is you take a couple of leaves, make a tea out of it, and make a spray. So if that will combat the gnats as well. You can go out and spray the place, because the citronella will kill them and repel them. So there you have a source. You can get it from the plant themselves, and then make a tea and spray it.
Yeah.
You can even put it in the bath and take a bath. Oklahoma, right? So I would make it. I would grow in a container. It's a beautiful plant, and then learn how to make a little tea from it and spray. And you can put a little bit in your bath, because then you will have that nice citronella smell.
And Lily says,
"Guys, are going up today."
are beautiful plants and also effective for mosquitoes.
Yeah,
Hanging baskets are nice.
that's right. That's right. And remember, take a cutting every once in a while, make a tea, spray it around the house, spray with where you have the gnats, mosquitoes. You know, it even works on elephants, tigers, and bears. No, they
Okay.
smell it. And snakes,
Yeah.
they would smell it, definitely. Raccoons, any creatures out there would go, I'm out of here. No way. Good way to keep coyotes out of the yard. You have to be careful with the cat or a dog because they will be very sensitive to that. That's the only thing I would say. In other words, don't spray them in the nose or in the face with it. That's
And
another.
Lily says, because you mentioned the chocolate basil, and she says it's nice and tasty. So there you go. There's a food supplement for your salad. Chocolate basil.
I don't think I said chocolate basil. I said chocolate geranium.
Okay, okay,
Now, chocolate basil there is a chocolate basil. Basically, it's called like that because it's kind of brownish instead of green. It's a
okay,
chocolate cover.
okay.
It's a chocolate cover. It has a really cool scent and it's very thick.
Cool.
It's like Mexican oregano. So
Okay,
Mexican oregano they have these they look like succulents, but
okay,
you touch
cool.
them. That's oregano. That's the other thing I would learn. If you have herbs, make a tea from herbs and spray those around for any gnats, anything, any flies and mosquitoes, anything that's bothering you. You have the tools right there to make your own tea, and then you'd be surprised how easy that would work. Better than having to buy something, even though the product may be safe. It's easier to make your own.
How would you make it into a tea? Just put the leaf in water and let it sit there, or how
Right,
would you
right.
do that, Andy?
Well, there's two ways. One is you just basically you can either if you wanted to make a tea, you could either bring the water to boil, chop up a few leaves, let it sit in there for maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes, and then you can add some lemon juice to it. Or if you wanted to spray, you can boil the water a little bit, boil the water for maybe a half hour to really get and then strain it out, and you have you can spray the liquid. Or you can
Cool.
what I do is I make a concentrate from it. So my mom taught me how to make these poultices for people, so that it's like a poultice. So you can get wine, you can get vinegar, you can get alcohol. There are a bunch of different liquids you can use. It depends on what you're going to use on the plants. What I do if I'm using it on plants, but I don't want to use wine or alcohol or anything like that, is I would basically get whatever plant I want to make a tea from. I'm spraying, but it's not tea to drink, it's spraying tea to spray.
Right.
I have this biology. I would take the liquid, that's the biology, soak the plants in there. I would close it off and let it sit for a few days, and then take that, strain it out, and that's what I would spray. Not as a concentrate, but maybe 1 cup to a gallon of distilled water, and spray the plants with it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even then, I would still probably take some milk, and add it to the biology and spray it, because calcium is very good for pest control and diseases as well. That's one of the things that strengthens their body, and the bugs, I mean, almost immediately reject it. And if they get it on them, they get that bacteria on them, that they've had it as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you
And
guys
it's
like my
very
background,
important.
guys? Yeah, it
What's
is.
that?
I was saying, do you guys like my background? See?
I love your background. It's got some biology, some roots, some flowers, some mushrooms in there.
That's my
It's got
brain
everything.
on drugs.
That's your brain on drugs, you said.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, guys, we're at 59 minutes and 20 seconds. Next
What we
week's
doing this week?
show is chapter 8 of Andy's book, which you can get by going to his website, join the newsletter, and you can get copies so you can follow along. But it's called Compost. So next week is going to be all about Andy's making compost, guys. So
Who knows what
love
that
you
is, right?
all.
Who knows
What's
what that
that,
is?
Andy?
Who knows what that is?
Yeah, it's a
Anybody knows?
mystery.
Anybody know what compost is? Hey, you guys? No, nobody here. Bye.
All right, guys, we will see you hopefully tomorrow. The young ladies are going to be
Yes, I
back
did.
on
Not a question.
Chiropractic is Sexy. And then, of course, we've got a wonderful show on Monday, the testing lab that's testing for biology that Leighton was talking about on the last show or the show before. She's going to be coming on and explaining what's going on with those testing and how to read those tests so you can understand the biology that's in your soil, which is one of the most important things you can ever find out about your soil, guys.
Well,
Anyway,
I'll
what's
watch
that?
that one. I want to watch that one.
Oh, well, it's on this coming Monday, Andy. Anyway, guys, take care. Love you all. We'll see you all soon.
Bye.